I'm Susan Woodruff. I serve on the board of ASA now. So.
And she's the VP.
The VP.
Yeah, technically one of the vice presidents.
Angela teach out.
And she's also the vice president. And Anika Robinson, and I'm the president.
Now, and you guys all came together and formed this as the three of you, correct?
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, there is a fourth member of the board, Brian Peterson. He kind of joined us later, and he helps us out a lot. So I guess he's not as much the face of the company, but yeah.
Like a silent partner?
Yeah.
And this obviously came about, your organization came about from the work you did with Jacob's Law, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And House Bill 2442.
Yes.
What is your mission with the current organization now? And then we can go back to the beginning.
So ASA now actually stands for Anika, Susan, and Angela, but it's advocacy, support, and assistance for family and children in need. And obviously we live the foster and adoption world, and so those are the families that we wanted to serve, were the foster families.
Is it in the Gilbert area only, or is it?
Well, the work we've done affects all of the children in Arizona,
in the state.
All foster and adopted children in the whole state. Some of the events that we've had recently were in, we hosted events in the Gilbert area, but I think people came out from near and far to come to these events, so, yeah.
How long have you been involved with the Arizona child welfare system? You have how many kids between all of you? 25?
Yes.
25? Did you want to say how many you have each?
I have 7.
I have 9.
Okay.
I have currently 8.
Okay.
That changes.
They're all gone.
Do you want to make one out of paper?
Sorry.
No, you're good. So, how long have you been fostering, and so you fostered and adopted?
Yes. So this is my 10th year fostering, and I have adopted 4 children out of the foster care system.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we fostered for 4 years. We haven't been licensed for 4 years, so this was 4 years ago that we started, or 8 years ago we started fostering. And we have 5 biological, 4 adopted from the foster system.
Now, it's all been through Arizona?
Yes.
Okay. And
Susan adopted a sibling group.
okay.
And it was a sibling group of 5, and she only fostered them, so she didn't foster other children. So she actually became licensed for the sibling group.
Wow.
5.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are those
The twins,
okay?
the other set of twins, because she has 2 sets of twins, were in the same classroom, and then that's how they got to know them and found out they were foster children, and then she opened up the room for them.
So your foster the foster siblings were actually in the public school district.
Yeah. So that's like almost accurate. They were in the same school. I was taking college classes with their foster mom. So, anyways, but they were best friends. Yeah, they were best friends before.
Oh, that's a small world.
Yeah. Well, they were best friends, and we knew their situation.
Were they not in the same classroom?
No,
Oh my
not
gosh,
until
how did I
after they
think
met.
that they were?
Well, because they were best friends, so
Oh,
you would think
that-
that. So yeah, so they were best friends, so we knew their situation, and knew that they needed a family. So we thought, why not us? And talked to their caseworker, and she said, don't get your hopes up because you guys aren't licensed, and it'll take months for you to get licensed, and by the time you get there, they could be in another home. So, but we went ahead anyways, and like within 3 weeks, bought bunk beds, a minivan, and a dresser. And
Right on in.
yeah, and 3 months later, we started the process to get licensed, and 3 months later, she moved them in with us before we were even finished getting licensed. So,
Is that normal?
no, it is pretty unusual. And then a few months later, our license came through, and she called in and said, "We still don't have a family for 3 of their siblings. Will you take them too?" So of course we said yes. So we went from 2 children to 7 children just in a matter of months. So.
Now, I'm gonna guess that this was the home that you were in before.
No, we lived
Okay.
in a home that was like really small, actually. It was a 3-bedroom house, and we had to have like our loft built into another bedroom so that we could fit all of the kids, and even then it was like wall-to-wall bunk beds, just packed.
I think all of us had to get a bigger house.
Yeah, it was like 1,650 square feet, our home, and there was 9 of us, 2 adults, 7 children. So we had to buy, and we'd already bought the minivan when we went from 2 to 4, but then we outgrew that when their siblings came. And we had to upgrade again and buy a bigger house and buy a bigger Suburban, and
That's wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
But we're, we've been blessed, throughout the.
What are the
Okay,
age ranges?
Mine are all between 13 and 18,
Okay.
so they're all within like 4.5 years of each other. So
2 to 11.
Okay.
They're pretty close.
And
Yeah.
mine is 3 to 20.
3 to 20.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, almost 20, like 3 weeks. Yeah.
Can you describe? So, can you describe your experiences leading up to the decision that began the process for Jacob's Law?
well, should I take this one or do you want to?
Sure, go
I
for
guess
it.
I remember. Well, maybe I shouldn't take this one because you 2 had talked before and had decided that this is something you
So
wanted
last
to do.
October, I was getting ready to just quit fostering. I think the system was really hard in getting kids services, and I don't think anything had improved, or at least I felt like nothing had improved in those 9 years. And I'd had some kids who needed services and waited upwards of a year to get services, even though their case was pretty severe. And
Can you describe what kind of services?
so they come into care and say that they've been, and just I'll give you an example, say that they've been beaten or starved or sexually molested, and these kids who, some were in newspapers, and we know foster parents who took these children in were having to wait 6 to 12 months to even just get that first appointment. So they've just been raped, or they've just been beaten and starved and everything else that goes with it, and they come into foster care. You would have to wait 6 to 12 months to even just get your first appointment. A therapist.
Was this consistent with the 3 of you?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So that kind of little voice that says no one else is going to do it. So if you want the system changed, it has to be you. And so I thought, well, I have a lot of kids, and so I can't really do it by myself. And I met this wonderful lady here about 8-9 years ago at support group, and then we had reconnected at a retreat. And so I called her up, and I thought, well, if anyone's crazy enough to just go full throttle and do this full time, it'll be her. And then she said yes. And so then I immediately thought, who else do I know that has, that drive to get things done? And I knew Susan had been struggling with her children. And so I thought, why not her? So then we called her in, and very much like this, one night we sat down and we said, hey, time's up, it's coming up, legislation is starting, and would you like to join us? And she kind of sat there actually, and we weren't sure if she was going to say yes or no. And I thought she's probably looking at us like we have 4 eyes, but she said yes. And I think we just jumped right in, and we had no plans other than I knew what laws we wanted changed. And Angela found a flyer to a senator, and we kind of went to that first meeting. And
Well, actually, we went to that first meeting knowing that we had ideas and thinking, in a couple of years we might try to make this change. And someone at that meeting was like, why are you going to wait next year when you can do it right now? And so we were like, oh, we could do it now? Like, what?
yeah.
And Well, Anika was the crazy one that was like, yes, we're doing it now.
Yeah.
And I think
And
I
then
was still.
he just gave us enough information to go to the next person, who gave us enough information to go to the next person. We had never, at least I hadn't been politically involved. Had you?
No,
No.
never.
And just someone would give us a little bit of knowledge, and I mean, I think we researched the heck out of everything, but we sure went in. I think we probably gave it 1,000% would be pretty accurate, not 100. And I think we did more work than 20 people combined.
Well, and it started in October, and then the first vote was in March.
No, that's actually when it went into law. So,
Oh, really?
So it went in, it had the bill signed, and then we went to the first committee, and then we passed unanimously through there, and then we went to the second, it goes through the House, and then it went through Senate, and then back to the House. But each time it passed unanimously, so
Yeah.
which is
So
very unusual as well.
I think the legislative season actually started in January or
January.
February, but like October through November and December, we were trying to meet with legislators and still trying to nail down a sponsor because the bill you have to get somebody to sponsor it.
And you had a I don't think I have that person.
Republican sponsor, Eddie Farnsworth.
That's right.
Yes, yeah. And he is our district representative.
Does he have
And-
experience with the child welfare system, or were you bringing this new information to him?
He does actually. His parents had informally fostered over 60 children, and they had 13 biological. And so he grew up with always having, other foster siblings in the home. And then I don't know how much I should share about his stuff, but within his family,
Yes.
within his family, they definitely have, friends and family that foster, and they've seen it firsthand, and
So he
lived
knew
it,
what you guys
right.
were.
Well, no
talking.
one really knew what we were talking about. We went
Okay.
in with information, and they're like, "Really? Because this is not the information we get."
From
So-
DCS, or from.
I think the overall response was that they just weren't informed.
Yeah.
They didn't know all of the foster families who were suffering, all of the gut wrenching, having to wait for months, trying to wait for referrals to be put in from DCS workers for us to be able to even get that initial assessment done for our children. So I think it was very educational for everybody all around.
Although I did hear them say, this speaks to, they were saying, this speaks to other complaints that they had, like as far as like the adult SMI system, which is for the severely mentally ill. They get phone calls. The representatives and senators get phone calls from their constituents who are having problems getting services, and so they knew that there
They
were
had
problems.
some idea, just
Yeah.
a lot of them didn't though. I remember having
Yeah.
them say, we didn't know it was this bad, or we didn't know this
Yeah.
was happening. So
Yeah.
I think you have some where the constituents had called, and then you had others who had no idea, what foster children were going through.
But even still, the ones that were kind of aware weren't aware of the extent of it.